Hello everyone, Ashlyn Giza YouTube channel. I have not done a video that's like this for a long time. Like this is what I mean by that is a personal video, something that's in my personal life. So my channel, as you guys know, the ones who've been following me for quite a long time now, it's about everyday life topics. It can be about stomach aches, headaches, starting school again, getting a new job, anything, you name it. Well, this one today is going to be about crazy exes. Okay, so my husband has a crazy ex, and I'll tell you why. Okay, before I even knew who she was, which I still don't even know who she was, but I can claim she's crazy going off what happened a couple nights ago. But let's rewind and let me tell you guys what my husband told me about this girl. So, and my sister and a friend of me, a mutual friend of me and my husband. Okay, so my husband told me that the reason why he broke up with this girl is because she cheated on him with his best friend. His best friend's name is Rodney. So, she cheated on him with his best friend. And she didn't care about it. And I also heard from my friends, me and my husband's friends in high school, that she was cheating on him in high school. I had a major crush on my husband, but I never told my husband because I just knew that he wouldn't believe me because I'm not the prettiest runway model person in the world. So I just knew that if I would have told him in that time, this is like 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago, that he probably wouldn't believe a thing I was saying and probably would have stayed with this girl. But I knew that she was cheating on him and flirting with other people. So, nonetheless, fast forward time, me and my husband reunite when we get older. We both like fishing, we both like music, we both like art, a lot of things in common. We used to be in the same friend group, all of that, especially in middle school. Still same friend group in high school, but more so in middle school. Fast forward, me and my husband get to know each other. We're talking about people we used to date and our exes. So my husband started talking about this specific ex. I'm not going to say her name, but he started talking about her. And he told me that she one time told him that he's not happy with himself. And until he's happy with himself, she can't be with him. And then my husband feels that the reason why she said that and did that is because he thinks that she wanted to run off and flirt with other men and like screw other men and then come back to him, which that's probably what she did, going by what happened next in their relationship, which is she ended up cheating on him, like actually having sex with his best friend Rodney. So that's what my husband told me about her. So right there, my husband formed my opinion that she's a slut and a very inconsiderate person to say what she said to my husband, which is saying that he needs to be happy or she can't be with them type of thing. Like who does that? Like if he was sad, then she should have stuck with him through the sadness and helped him get happy again. That's what people do if they love each other. Not leave somebody when they're sad or leave someone because they're a sad person. You help them be happy. So, anyways, slutty person with a shitty outlook on life. Number one, opinion formed for me. Opinion formed for me number two is my sister told me that my husband's ex, now, This is because exes were getting brought up during a night of drinking. I don't drink, but my sister does, and so do my other family members. So, my sister had told me, "Oh, you dated blank," and I'm not going to say her name. And my husband's like, "Yeah, I unfortunately dated blank. I unfortunately dated her." And my sister's like, "That girl is a whore. She used to date my brother-in-law. And I guess my brother-in-law proposed to her, which this guy that is my sister's brother-in-law is kind of my brother-in-law too, because um, my sister's common law married to the guy that she's with. She's been with him for over 20 years and they have 5 kids together. My sister told me that when she met this girl, my husband's ex, she was loud, her voice was annoying, and that my brother in law, I guess, proposed to her, and she said no in front of a whole bar and their friends and my sister. She said no in front of everybody. Now, everybody can bash me and say, well, so she didn't want to do that. She didn't want to marry. She may have not been ready. So what if she said no? Okay, here's why it matters. Here's why it forms a bad taste in my mouth, and a bad opinion for me. Because although you may not want to marry that person, that's fine. But you shouldn't embarrass somebody else just because you didn't want to marry them. You could do something like this, for an example. Say yes, and then when you guys leave the bar, sit down with that person in the car or wherever you're going to go and say, "Look, I said yes at the bar, but I need to talk to you. I actually am not ready for engagement or marriage right now." And then you go on to explain things. That's how you should handle things like that, in my opinion. I don't think you should embarrass somebody else or put somebody else down because you are just a very mean person. Okay, now fast forward to opinion formed for me number 3. Me and my husband have this mutual friend. This mutual friend is somebody who me and my husband have been friends with for over 20 some years, since we were 10 years old. My husband used to play basketball with him all the time. I used to go to super skate with this kid all the time. He was in my classes. Now, me and him were talking on the phone one night. My friend was drunk. He needed somebody to talk to. He felt like calling me. I answered my phone. I started talking to him about what he was doing, how he was doing, what's been going on. So the conversation carries on, and we end up talking about old people that we went to school with, people in our past. And my husband's ex got brought up again, not by me and my husband's friend. And my friend said, "Do you know Jason's ex blank?" Which I'm not going to say her name. I replied, "Yes, I know of her, but I don't know her. My friend then said, "She is a nasty skank. She was caught at Green Gable. I caught her at Green Gable," which is a bar, where we live, "coming in and out, fucking men in the bathroom of that bar." Do I know if any of this shit actually happened? Not 100%, but based off what my sister has told me, based off what my own husband has told me, based off what my third opinion formed friend told me. I'm not looking at this girl in a very good point of view at all because there's 3 different people that have talked shit about her. Okay? So, now this gets fucking personal because now it's not just me hearing things about her, it's shit that she's starting to do that's becoming a bit personal. Okay, fast forward time after me and my friend were talking when he was drunk that night. Fast forward after that. One of my very best friends, Ryan Sconyers, passed away. I talk about him in my videos on and off. And we talked all day and all night, all the time. I went over to his house. I helped him clean his house. I helped him unbox things that were packed in his house. Because, why? Because he was disabled. He was in a wheelchair, so he couldn't do things for himself. When we were kids, he fell off a grain elevator off of this area like where there's water, it's a lake, and he got his 3 fingers chopped off on the fall down, and he landed just so perfectly to where his spine, he got paralyzed. He couldn't walk anymore when we were 17. So as we got older, we could no longer do the activities that we used to do as kids. So I started going over to his house and hanging out with him and talking to him, watching shows with him, cleaning for him, taking his garbage out for him. We got super close. Okay, my friend eventually passes away, which we all knew he was going to eventually because after you get paralyzed, you have so long to live, is what I've heard. But that's also what my friend told me too, from his own mouth, that the doctors gave him a limited time to live after he was diagnosed with being paralyzed. So my friend passed away, and it hurt me really, really bad. This was probably about 4 years ago now. And this ex of my husband's doesn't even know this kid. She doesn't even know Ryan Sconyers. She knows of him. She doesn't know him. And she knows me and Jason are going to this funeral because she knows that I'm close with Ryan Sconyers. And because I have pictures of him all over my Facebook. And because people saw me and him together in school. And so what does she do? She shows up at this funeral. She shows up at my best friend's funeral, okay? Hugging and shaking hands with his sisters and stuff like that when she didn't even know him at all. She had no business being there. It took my all not to want to do something to her. You guys know what I mean. She had the audacity to walk straight up to me and my husband after the funeral and actually put her hand on my shoulder. So what did I do? I didn't want her hand on my shoulder, her slutty hand on my shoulder. I don't know what kind of diseases are on that hand. So I shrugged my shoulder away from her hand. And that's all I did. And I kept talking to my friends that were this way. So I could literally feel my friend that passed away telling me, don't fuck my funeral up. Be the bigger person. So I did just that. So my husband's talking to his ex and her fiance or husband at the time. My husband, I guess, said that his ex introduced her fiance or husband to him, which is rude as fuck. Like, because it's like you're trying to rub that guy in my husband's face. Like my husband even gives a fuck because the guy's face looks like it's smashed. Like smashed. Like literally smashed together from chin to forehead. So, after she realized she was unwelcomed there, she left with her boyfriend or fiance or whatever the fuck he was to her at that time. Okay, so that's personal things she did to me, number one. Personal things she did to me, number two, which, like I said, all the other stuff was done to my brother-in-law, my husband, and my sister, and my friend witnessed something. This funeral thing was personal to me. The thing I'm about to tell you guys is personal to me because she has no business contacting my husband. So, okay, 2 nights ago, this girl gets on me and my husband's friend's phone when he's sleeping or something like that. Or when because our friend, his wife, is best friends with my husband's ex. So either those two got the phone from our friend and looked at my Facebook and my husband's Facebook and decided to type and pretend that they were me and my husband's guy friend. Or me and my husband's guy friend gave her the phone and allowed her to pretend that she was him. Or letter C, or number 3, she wrote something and asked our guy friend to copy and paste it and send it to my husband. So this is what she sends to my husband. She sends something along the lines of, "Hey, do you remember when me, you, and blank went to prom together? I remember when you and blank," which is the blank is my husband's ex. "I remember when you and blank left the prom and went to show this old lady that you used to be a dietary aid for and cook for. I remember you and blank went off to show the old lady you guys' prom outfits." So me and my husband were confused because we were wondering why our guy friend would type about someone that my husband hasn't thought about or, you know, doesn't even know anything about for over 20 some years. And come to find out, our guy friend typed us the next morning saying that basically that wasn't me. That was blank who wrote that, who messaged you, which the blank is my husband's ex. So my husband calls our guy friend, and our guy friend tells us that Jason, my husband's ex, wrote all that and is trying to connect with my husband, and goes on to tell my husband, our guy friend goes on to tell my husband that my husband's ex is going crazy, that she's been talking about ex-boyfriends and like trying to connect with them and being really weird and wild. And so I was trying to tell my husband the night he received that message from our guy friend that seemed fishy and that there was something up with that. Something didn't feel right. But my husband at first was trying to refuse the fact that his ex was trying to get a hold of him or that anything bad or fishy was going on, because men, they only think logically most of the time. They don't think deeply about things like us women do. Not to be sexist or anything, but that's kind of typical. Guys don't really look into things like that because either A, they don't give a shit to think that deeply about stuff, or B, they're just that oblivious. So, I was right. The bitch is crazy. She was trying to connect with my husband, trying to tell him about an old lady that passed away, that my husband used to be a dietary aide, and he used to make this old lady's food. Now, my husband does care about this old lady, and he cares about the old lady's daughter, the daughter who passed away. But my husband would have been able to find out by himself that the lady passed away through obituaries online. Sorry, I said lion. He would have been able to find out about the death of this lady online through obituaries, the newspaper, word of mouth other than his ex. I think you guys get where I'm going with this. His ex was just trying to use this as an excuse to talk to him. So there's personal, getting too close and personal to Ashley, number 2. Now, I will do an update video on this later if something else occurs, but I know more than likely that she's probably found this channel, and if she has, that is awesome, because if she does know about this channel, which she could possibly know because my husband's posted it on his social media page before to see if our family and friends would subscribe. I hope that you know that you're messing with the wrong person. You're not smart. Your actions that you've chose to do are very evil and very slutty, and you need to grow up. And you're married. You're married. So stop trying to reach out to my husband behind your husband's back, because he probably doesn't know that you're trying to do that. And just fuck off, because otherwise it's not going to be good for you. This isn't a death threat. This isn't me saying I'm going to punch you in the face threat. But it is me saying that things aren't going to be so good for you if you keep trying to connect with my husband. That's all I'm going to say. So, fuck off, grow up, get a life, and kiss my ass. You may have somewhat of the looks, but I am so much smarter than you. And that's what counts. That's why Jason fell in love with me. Because I have brains and I have a heart. I would never cheat on him. Never have, never will. I'm loyal to him. We have fun together. We fish together. And we watch the Iowa Hawkeye footballs together. We create art together. We have so much fun together, and we go to museums together. And best of all, we created a son together. We created a family. So why don't you go off and do the same, Have fun with your husband. Go create a family of your own and leave mine alone. I'll be on with another life topic.